Annyeonghaseyo from Korea. Welcome to Nick's Matchup. Today we're making mandu. Oh, I dropped it. Fried mandu. Fried mandu in this case are dumplings, and we're gonna make everything. I'm a total beginner. You guys have to try this recipe. It's so easy. If I can do this at home, then you guys can do it too. We're even gonna make the casing. Everything from scratch. It's gonna be great. Let's begin. Wow, I didn't drop them this time. Wow, ooh.
These ingredients make for a great filling and I highly recommend it, but at the end of the day, use the ingredients that are available to you. For instance, in Korea, traditionally you get a lot of pork and chive based dumplings, and of course there's also just straight kimchi, which is a great option too. It's very traditional to add glass noodle as well. Me personally, I don't like the taste of the glass noodles in it. I find it makes it a little bland, and I'd rather have more filling with other ingredients like the beef. So speaking of the beef, fry it up, get it nice and browned. You want it cooked, so when you're cooking your dumpling, you're not worried about is it going to cook or not, the beef on the inside. When it's done, put it in the bowl and keep all those juices. You want those juices. Now I'm using chives to cut up, but you can use green onion or sort of leeks and things like that. However, try to use chives if you can. It does add a very distinct flavor. In addition, everything should be chopped up very small. Dice that up as fine as you can because you don't want big chunks of things in your mandu. Then we have kimchi. The more fermented kimchi you can use, the better, and it adds a lot of spice to the dish. Well, not a lot, just it adds the right amount of spice to the dish. That's the best way to put it. When you mix all the ingredients together, it looks so beautiful, especially with the white of the tofu. The tofu will soak up a lot of the sauces. Now, not shown here is the salt. Add a teaspoon of salt just to give a little bit more flavor. And we're mixing it up. Get everything mixed. You don't want big hunks of tofu, so make sure it's all ready to go. Now we're moving on. Let's make the casing. The casing is a little bit more complicated than it looks, but it's also easier than it looks in a way. The hard part is getting your dough right. You don't want too much water. That's my biggest thing that I learned doing this. So the drier the dough, the better, but just not too dry. That's basically it. So you want a dough and looking like this, right? And it looks a little dry. It's got a bit of sort of flour. It's got a bit of pull to it. Then let it sit for a little bit. Once it's set for about 10 minutes, take it out. And I don't show this here, but you want to knead it for about 5 to 6 minutes. So that'll get it nice and elasticy. Then double check the dough. You can sort of add a little bit more flour during this process to make sure you've got the right consistency, which is, not too sticky. If it's too sticky, it's really hard to do. And I did fail a couple of times, and it did end up very sticky, and it just didn't work out right. I also found that the best way to do it is to keep it moving. Keep these things moving as you turn. Pick it up, roll it. Pick it up, roll it. And just get that shape that you want. And if you do that, you'll find you'll get a better sort of size to it. And don't go too thin unless you're very confident using the dough. I went too thin at that start. I'm used to using dough, but I found that this dough just wasn't quite right for what I wanted, and it was too thin and it just didn't work. For making this, don't overfill it, don't underfill it. And when you're pinching it together, if you watch people do it online, they're just so good at it. But the truth is, you just gotta practice it. You're not gonna get it right on the first time. This is not my first time doing it in this video that I'm showing. And the very first time was way harder than it looked. And even now, I'm not that great at it. But I got better every time, and so will you if you practice. Get some oil in the pan, and you want a little bit more oil than you might be used to using, but you're not deep frying it, so don't overdo the oil. Get it hot, and then look at that golden brown color. Look at that, that's perfect. Remember, our meat is cooked on the inside, so we don't need to stress about is the meat cooking or not. It's already cooked. We've just got to get the casing done perfectly. And it's fried mandu, so we want it crispy on the outside. But don't burn it, of course. And you don't want the dough to be undercooked on the inside. Now, the recipe that I've provided does make more than this mandu. There's a lot of mandu, but this is my breakfast, so I plated it up as I ate it before work, which I'll tell you about at the end of the video in about 30 seconds. But first, we gotta cut it in half and let's see how they turned out. Beautiful.
Cook these up right before work, and this is my breakfast. What a breakfast to have. This is the way you start your day in Korea, guys. Yes. Let's get in there. Oh yeah. Crunchy outside, and then sort of almost a little bit chewy and softer sort of inside, but not like in an undercooked dough kind of way. Like, it sort of just adds to that flavor, so you get that, I don't know how to describe it, so like the dough is actually important to the flavor, almost like having a pizza, right? You know, when you get a really good pizza, it's crunchy, it crackles, but it still pulls apart. There's a little bit of pull on there. That's a good pizza when you get it like that. In addition, there's like a spice to this. Adding a bunch of those red pepper flakes, and it gives it this little spicy tang. Ah, it's perfect. Oh, and of course the kimchi as well. There's kimchi in here. That's why it's spicy. Let's try out the sauce. Oh yeah, wait, let's do this. Oh. Oh, it's so good. There's almost too much to eat, and we're too full at work. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, get out there, cook your food, make it delicious, and have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.